Welcome to the Repzilla Files. This is everything I haven't said before. There's never been a video dedicated to most of this stuff. Some old stuff will be mentioned when necessary though. If you thought, speaking of Repzilla, the other side of Repzilla or YouTube's wolf in sheep's clothing was it, then you're in for a surprise. Around the time of Primmink's video, I had someone reach out to me to tell me about their experience with Repzilla, with screenshots in tow. Interestingly enough, they made a video in 2017. In the video entitled Repzilla the Poppy Leech, the person brings to attention that Repzilla had been making videos about things that weren't related to Poppy and had been using her in the title and tags. Here's a clip.
Repzilla will spam anything related to Poppy in the tags, as long as her name is in the title. It didn't even have to be about her. On his setup tour, where he just talks about the equipment he uses to make videos, he has it as tags:
that Poppy's real name. Who is Poppy really? Poppy explained. Titanic Sinclair. Titanic Sinclair's real name.
Pretty much anything he can get away with.
They decided to tweet Repzilla a link to the video. They said, "At ZillaRage, I made a video about you, dude. Hope you enjoy it." To which he said, "I don't like it or dislike it. I don't anything of it. It is inaccurate and looks like the sort of starving for attention type thing." They also included a screenshot of his next response to them, but it doesn't show what they said for him to respond that way. He said, "DM me and I will explain and also teach you." Repzilla's tweets from this conversation still exist on Twitter, but the other person's does not, as their account is now private and therefore their tweets can't be viewed unless you're following them. So now that you have the context, here's the conversation that took place. It was sent to me a while ago and has been sitting in the updated version of the Primmink drive for a while now. The conversation starts off kind of strangely, as far as the message about teaching goes. Rep's first response to this guy is about wanting to help him with YouTube. Andrew goes on to say that he didn't have any questions but wanted to know why he used Poppy in so many of his videos, including videos that weren't about Poppy, I assume, as that's what's stated in the video. Rep goes on to talk about how it's what his community wants and it wouldn't make sense to ignore them, and then goes on to tell Andrew he must learn about the algorithm and SEOs, so your community can find your videos easier. Andrew goes on to explain that he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about why videos that don't even include Poppy in the video have Poppy in the tags, and that he, Andrew, sees that as an issue. Repzilla goes on to say he was speaking out of context and the tags stay relevant to the community, not what the video is about, which is strange to me. Rep then goes on to say that you can't show other people's tags and you also can't slander other people, and that he had no idea what he was talking about. Andrew says that the tags are supposed to stay relevant to the video and also asks how was his video slander. Rep then goes on to explain what slander is, while lecturing him about how he should learn about YouTube, otherwise no one will take him seriously. And true to Rep's form, everything is about his community. Andrew does defend himself and his video, which gets a novel reply of, "You should take this as an opportunity to learn," and strangely enough says, "I will answer a few more questions. Use this time wisely for yourself, rather than try to defend a position that doesn't exist." Andrew then asked for proof as to how it was slanderous, and if he could prove it, he would be more than happy to take the video down himself. He got the casual, "alright lol" response, followed with this response: "Actually, I'm going to be nice lol. I was just going to take the video down. YouTube will not remove videos it doesn't see fit to remove. Take this as constructive criticism. You have no idea what you are talking about, and it is because you are ignorant of how YouTube works on the back end. You could not personally ruin my reputation because my reputation is not only reputable, but respected. The content that I make is 100% by the guidelines. I've never spoken on anything unless it was warranted. To tell you everything would be to tell you how to run a channel, and would take weeks. Take my word for it and ask better questions. You are young and novice, and it shows." Andrew actually asked a trusted flagger about if the video he made about Rep was slander or not, And the person responded and said there's no grounds for slander and he needs to learn how to take criticism. He sent Rep a screenshot of the conversation with the flagger and even went on to say that he was breaking YouTube's terms of service by adding a laundry list of tags and a screenshot attached that showed this in a video of Rep's. There's other bits and pieces in the Google Drive that I'll leave below, but before blocking Andrew, Rep said this: "If you left a positive impact with me and others, how much do you think that would have helped you? Read a nice book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's very helpful. When you seek to argue, you never win. Even if you win the argument, you still lose. Peace be with you." Now, you may be confused about the pattern of behavior, as this is the title of the section after all. Well, in mid-2018, a mere 8 or so months later, I made a video about him and I got treated in a similar fashion, although unlike Andrew, I didn't just get my video threatened, I got my channel threatened and even a lawsuit. If you don't know about it, there's a video called The Other Side of Repzilla, and it's linked in the description. So, 2 people made videos against him. He called them slander and threatened to take the videos down, to put it kindly. But the point isn't about me. The point is that what is known is that he tried to get Andrew to take his video down. He tried to get me to take my video down. This was all before Primink's video, by the way. But, interestingly enough, he also asked Primink to take down his video, months after it had been online. So there's evidence that shows he asked people in 2017, 18 and 19 to take down their videos about him, purely because they painted him in a bad light or he didn't like it. With the latest case, Primink, being after Repzilla had been called out for his actions. Primink's video even included the conversation I had with Repzilla where he asked me to take down my video.
The entire conversation is Repzilla trying to blackmail and force this guy who helped him for a year into deleting the video, and in fact, Repzilla actually did remove one of Marsii's videos.
You could have said maybe he didn't realize it was the wrong thing to do, but to keep doing it once you're called out for it shows a lack of willingness to learn from mistakes. This is just what is known to me. Who knows if there's other people who have spoken up about it, and if so, who knows how many people it may have happened to. A Twitter user who goes by the name Gnome Army tweeted in November of 2019 and said, "Yeah, it was calculated by Repzilla. He waited until he felt he had regained his reputation, then asked you to delete the video, just so he could then say, 'See, it was all fake, I was innocent,' even though he knows that's not true. There were some things reported wrong, but the crux and meat of the accusations were all facts. This just proves he is fake AF." And then what does he do when he's called out again? Blame and bring up his brain injury again. Sorry it happened, but you can't use it as an excuse to dodge all criticism. If it's that bad, maybe he shouldn't do arts and crafts videos and not ones reporting about real people. Aside from this, there is also a behavioral pattern which is discrediting the people who make videos on him or speak out about him. I'm not sure if there was anything in the case of Andrew, but for myself I got a video made about me, which was originally called Speaking of My Stalker, which is now titled About Repzilla Stalker, and is still well and truly online. I've spoken about it previously, but I don't know if I had previously provided screenshots. Among the false accusations of stalking was the very serious yet false accusation of leaking photos of his family, which he admitted he believed because he was simply told that I had done it, which he stated in a Twitter thread in March 2019. It's a strange thread. It goes from accusing me of leaking photos of his family, which he's automatically questioned about and doesn't respond to. Aside from that not being true, is once again questioned and stories start to get mixed up. Kimmy talks about how he said he heard from someone that certain things had happened and that it was odd he put it out there as fact without backing it up. To which the person responds about the photos outside his house, which is another claim, but not about me. It's about another person who supposedly stalked him, according to him at least. After Kimmy responded and said no one broke into his house, Rep chimed back in and said, "You don't know what happened, it was terrifying." Kimmy asks what was terrifying, and Rep responds with a tweet that says, "This is from the suspected stalker talking to my girlfriend after recognizing me in her profile picture." Now, not only has this gone from talking about me to talking about someone else, although it is relevant to the conversation as Kimmy mentioned the messaging of his girlfriend. Aside from the messages that are in this tweet, the wording is interesting, as suspected means have an idea or impression of the existence, presence, or truth of something without certain proof. As someone rightly stated, the messages were creepy. He then goes on to mention me in his next tweet in the thread, saying, "It didn't stop there. Marsii released his video a week later while I had the police circling the neighborhood. Take note of the dates." And the messages, sure enough, are between him and myself. He added some interesting notes, including, "I never told him the seriousness of what was going on," which is a bit strange if you're trying to paint someone as a bad guy yet admit they had no idea what was actually going on. Kimmy then responds and says, "Offers to take down the thing that didn't even show your name." Rep said that it did show his name. His name was in the title and the suspected stalker watched my videos. The only name that was mentioned in the title was Repzilla, as the video was entitled "Speaking of Repzilla." The screenshots from the video exist as they were put in the video. They show his photo but no name. Kimmy then asks if I used his real name, to which he avoids in his response. Back to the topic at hand. He went on to try and discredit Primink's video and the people in it. The month after Primink's video, he posted on Twitter that he was making a shirt with the name that Primink gave him, Hot Topic Cowboy. Someone asked if Primink was going to get a cut, to which Rep replied, possibly if he can explain how the sources in his video on me have been outed for being so dishonest and manipulative that they deleted their entire channel. He went on to clarify who he was talking about, but this doesn't excuse his actions towards that person. You don't get a free pass for exposing someone's trauma just because they deleted their channel. You also don't get a free pass for sending multiple people dirt on someone whose trauma you expose. He can say that she told him to post them all, but some logic wouldn't go astray. And even after he took it down, it's still online on another channel that re-uploaded it in full, that he had his own videos removed from. He did upload an edited version onto his Google Drive and apologized, before claiming they were dishonest, of course. So that's something, maybe. He then went on to say I had been exposed and linked a Google document that the person who created removed the initial copy of, and something that I have publicly apologized for and have certainly learned from. What makes this strange was the part where initially Repzilla actually uploaded an apology of sorts and took some responsibility for the things in Primink's video, only to turn around and make a 40+ minute video defending himself that was so poorly received that it is unlisted, has like to dislike ratio and comments disabled, and just to prove he wasn't racist, he uploaded this video.
What's going on? Welcome back to, what is this video?
Well, at least I assume that was the point. The timing seems too coincidental. Here's a clip of the apology video, by the way.
I'm addressing the video that was put out on me yesterday. In that video, I see legitimate criticisms, things that I truly need to work on. And I take full accountability. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm just here to tell you I'm sorry.
Credit where credit is due. Repzilla laid off trying to discredit people who called him out via Twitter, which would be a sign of learning if it wasn't for him taking to YouTube instead. Remember when he acted like he didn't know the Rewired Soul despite helping him with the thumbnail and making multiple videos about him? Well, what if I told you he worked with someone and turned on them and acted like he didn't know them? But it's not 2019, this time it's 2020. Realstream News is a channel that Repzilla had sent, received, and used information from. Repzilla even featured as a guest on one of his live streams.
So, I mean, honestly, with friends like that, who seriously needs enemies?
Well, it's like, I'm always trying to learn. I didn't say I was the best at this, by the way. I didn't say I was the best person at what I do. I'm definitely trying to always learn from my mistakes.
I'm just saying, be accountable, like,
What is
publicly,
it? What is
not
it?
just in DMs. Like,
Most of this took place around 2019, but 2020 was a different story. Realstream wasn't too keen on Repzilla's actions anymore, and Rep decided to fight fire with fire and make 2 videos about Realstream news. It's one thing to act like you don't know someone, but to give them information and use information they sent you in videos, and then to turn around and do that is something else. Repzilla even went on his livestream and used him to send information to make a hit piece on someone, which makes it look like Repzilla knew of some allegations when he was initially friendly towards him, yet decided to ignore the allegations while he was friendly with him, and then decided to act like they existed and use them as fuel for a video in 2020. But it hasn't just stopped at that. Even more recently, Repzilla decided to jump in the middle of an argument that was between Repzion and another YouTuber. But unlike other videos, Repzilla wasn't discrediting someone to make himself look good. He was discrediting someone to make someone else, in this case, Repzion, look good. Of course, he showed the person's channel name, yet told them not to harass the person, just like he did with me. He also made another video about the person, but for some reason he distorted the voice and didn't show the channel name or the person's face this time around, despite still having the previous video online with everything that he was attempting to hide in plain view. Before I jump into this, I want to state that he has publicly stated that he has never doxed anyone and makes a deal about it. It's almost essential to his so-called credibility. I'm also not going to go into the Poppy situation. I understand that there was a petition made, but if you look at his videos surrounding her name, he clearly got it from a Wikipedia article. Also, if you don't know, doxing is described as search for and publish private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. I understand that the definition states that it is search for, but private or identifying information doesn't always have to be searched for to be published. I want to start this section by briefly mentioning the other person he alleges who stalked him, that he tried to tie me in with in the Speaking of My Stalker video. The person who allegedly took a photo out the front of his house. Just to note, not once in our messages did the word stalker appear. I had no idea it was going on at the time, so if he had never mentioned them to me, then how would I know who this person who supposedly watched my videos was? Well, it turns out it doesn't take too much of a detective to find out who he was talking about, because despite him blocking out his girlfriend asking Maggie if she was actually someone else, he actually doxed this other person in a live stream that's still online today. This person even stated on a public forum that Repzilla violated their privacy by giving out their personal information in a video. They also said something on Twitter that he didn't like, so he quote tweeted them and said the Rep Squad would teach them manners. And as their account no longer exists, it is unknown what they said that triggered the quote tweet. In 2017, a video was made entitled Mars Argo Vlog Leak. I've spoken about it previously that featured my full name in the description initially, and there's messages that back that up. But there was more to it. It wasn't just me. There was a video in a Google Drive that I gave to Repzilla. It was given to me by someone else and I didn't realize it wasn't their file to give out. I publicly apologized and the person forgave me. I just want to make that clear for full transparency. But Repzilla's response was strange. The person whose Google Drive the video was a part of was actually worried that the video would go further than Repzilla, and through that, their sensitive information may have been at risk. I spoke to them and forwarded a general message to Rep. I sent him a link to an unlisted video where the person went off at Repzilla, myself, and Jordan. Rep said that he thought the video was entertaining and that he wasn't sharing the video from the drive. I asked him if he could take down the video to avoid any chance of the person's sensitive information getting out. Just to clarify, the sensitive information couldn't be found from watching Repzilla's video alone, but if the link to the video on the drive was shared, there was a chance. It featured his home address, his name, everything. I have a copy of the video where the person calls out myself, Rep, and Jordan, but I won't show any of it out of respect for the person. He called the whole situation entertaining, which is strange. You have the full context in this video, but calling it entertaining when someone wants you to take down a video because they could be doxxed, because there's sensitive identifiable information, seems insensitive. The video itself that Rep made about the vlog still exists. It's unknown if he shared it or not, but the person kept getting requests to view the video. But as Rep wasn't the only one who had it, it's unknown if they're related. This probably comes as no surprise, but he also doxed me. Outside of showing my photo in the Marsii vlog leak video, which I don't classify as doxing as people know what I look like and my name isn't shown, but I would have liked to have been asked beforehand. Although when I did that in the Speaking of Repzilla video, he classified it as doxing, which, just to clarify, I asked if I could share the messages and he said yes, and I showed his photo and no his name, and he classified that as doxing. Beyond this, he actually went one step further in 2019 and posted private and identifying information about me. Despite the initial blocking of the name and image in messages when they were posted to Twitter, the same cannot be said for a Google Drive he made and put in the description of a video with over 50,000 views. It features a section dedicated to me and features messages between us, and it didn't just feature my profile picture. There's a profile picture on a social media, I believe, so it's fine. People know what I look like, as I said. But I really took issue with my name on Facebook being published. As far as private and identifiable information goes, that's pretty identifiable. I'd like to say that I've since changed my name on Facebook. But if someone saw that before I did, they can forever find me. There had been the previously mentioned instance where he showed my profile picture in a video, and an instance in Discord where he showed my Facebook name but not my profile picture. But the entirety of the general section of his Discord has been wiped since, as far as I know. I do have a screenshot of him posting messages between us that show my name and not my profile picture, but I'm not going to show that for obvious reasons. I wouldn't be surprised if he has doxed others. There are other instances that people say he doxed people. There are people that he has mentioned the names of that aren't too public, but I wouldn't say it's doxing, but it's just plain disrespectful. Just because it's out there doesn't mean you have to share it. I won't name the other people that may or may not have been doxed by Repzilla, out of respect for them. And if you aren't new to the drama, then you likely already know who I mean. There's a lot of instances that could be shown in this section, but I want to start off with the thread about Twitter tea. For the sake of this video, I'm going to skip past the first part about not giving attention to people and or not wanting to give them hate. Then several tweets later shares a video he made about me that slanders me and someone else. He states that the stalking started at the beginning of the year, despite his stream doxing the Stalker being end of April / early May, depending on your time zone. And his tweets about / to her were after the stream, but we're going to skip the potential time frame. In the third tweet, he states that he feared leaving the house, yet between when he first mentioned the Stalker and his Speaking of My Stalker video, he went out on a live stream a week after he doxed the Stalker and just under a week after he quote tweeted them on Twitter. In that same tweet, he says that he had to stop putting his girlfriend in the live streams, but then mentions the video I made in May of 2018. So I don't know if that means he stopped putting her in the live streams before my video or if it's just a statement. Because given what's still public at least, she wasn't in a live stream before my video, but she was in multiple after he made the Stalker video. Earliest appearance, at least in videos that are still public, was within a couple of months of the Stalker video and appears in the thumbnail of 3 in the next 3 months, up until October 2018. Tweet 4 talks about when I made my Speaking of Repzilla video, in which he states that he was in the process of moving during, yet his tweets around then state that he was taking a break from YouTube. A tweet from 2 days before my video says, "Heads up, I'm going to take a break for a few days from normal videos so I can get the Repzilla website finished, some collab stuff, and other surprises. I will still be doing some IRL live streaming. Emotes should be rolling out today. I mowed my grass and you are awesome." And he even gave day 1 progress. Repzilla, day off number 1. Tick. Expect the official Repzilla Discord server. Tick. Sponsor only in chat emotes for live streams and comments. Tick. Official logo release. Teaser. It has Greg's face on it. Tick. livestream today. The livestream that he did during the break is still online. He even said it in his Speaking of My Stalker video that he had been doing stuff on his Discord while he was away.
Now it's time to show you what did I do on my days off. Well, we got a Discord channel. The Discord channel is awesome. Clearly, we got the server info.
If you look, the background didn't change at all. Meaning, or implying that he didn't move house. Here's a clip from the now private video where he talks about his time off.
Short announcement, I'm gonna take a couple days off. I probably posted on my social medias. This is because I have a lot of things I gotta do for you guys. I gotta finish the website where I'm going to show all the people that sponsor the channel. We're gonna do like an archive thing for putting informations on all the things that we follow, different things like that. Also, I gotta work on some collaborations with other YouTubers.
There's other bits and pieces in the thread that don't quite add up either, but I just wanted to go over those main points. The rest you can probably figure out. Back in 2019, he tweeted about Taylor Nicole Dean and how no one should profit off animal abuse. And while I agree with the statement that no one should profit off animal abuse, monetarily at least, I don't understand how someone would grow a community by abusing animals, just to clarify. I'm not going to go into him befriending Taylor a while after exposing her for animal abuse, but I'm aware that's a thing. He tweeted and said, "The video we did about Taylor Nicole Dean is making an impact. No one shall profit off animal abuse. I truly believe this will enable a good change for her animals and Taylor will get the help she needs. From what I've seen, she has a good support network. Focus on the solution." Despite saying no one shall profit off animal abuse, Repzilla does. He doesn't abuse animals, but he does make videos about animal abuse and makes money off them. It's not a case of just making money from the video talking about Taylor. There are countless videos that Rep has made about animal abuse and people committing animal abuse. Yet when he can, he monetizes it and makes money off it. This wouldn't be an issue if he hadn't said the exact opposite. I agree with making money from YouTube, but looking down on someone for making money off of animal abuse and then going and doing it yourself is just bizarre. Something happened a couple of years ago that still gets talked about to this day, and that was a certain tweet that appeared on, well, Twitter, of course. I'm not mentioning it because of its contents, that's already been explained away by Repzilla, but what remains an issue to this day is the legitimacy of its existence, according to Repzilla at least. It was a racist tweet that he initially thought was fake, despite it being, quote, tweeted. It was addressed in a video called Speaking of the Harassment from Poppy and Titanic Sinclair Fans, and then it was mentioned in Primit's video. Here's the clip.
So this old tweet started going around, and instead of taking responsibility for it, he messages the people sending these DMs around, and he calls the DMs fake and reports them, while simultaneously deleting these old tweets on his account. How are you going to say they're fake if you just deleted them?
He then, as I mentioned before, debunked it being posted by him in his response video.
Someone said, as a 19-year-old, he should have known what was wrong, so Rep, as a former fan, just apologize.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 100%. Like, I shouldn't have been associating with the wrong people. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have took more responsibility. 100%.
And I said, "Thank you, man. This means a lot. They've been calling me racist, homophobe, and even death threats, man. It's been bad." He goes on to say that I also have a black stepfather with no bias towards him or the race whatsoever. We are a multiracial family and show love to everyone. I also apologize for that remark. Again, I was young and stupid. This only happened because these people were trying to dig up things on me to make me look bad. So I said none of these tweets, but it was people that were on a public community Facebook page.
So it was tweeted on his account but by another admin of a Facebook page that he was working on. Now that that's all clear, I wish it was the end of this section, but someone tweeted it to him last month and that wasn't what he said. He addressed it, which is true, and then said it was fake. Also, we're not going to go into the Repzilla part of the Twitter thread, although it is somewhat valid as to who he hangs around with, and that he hasn't called out Repzilla for those things, yet calls out other people for similar stuff. He then said it was set to auto-post from a Facebook page and said it was deleted off the Facebook page. He said that it was an instance where people lie and fabricate while using hate as a type of fuel, and then later, once again, that it was faked. Again. Saya was calling him out for saying to focus on positivity and seeking out the good in life halfway through a conversation about racism, which is a fair call out. He went on to say a little bit more, and when called out for it, he acted like they were attacking his mental health. After he said it was faked and potentially photoshopped, depending on how you interpret his response, Maddie said that the change of the date didn't erase that it happened, and his lack of grace and humility of handling it being brought up, and that he acted like the people bringing it up were attacking him, to which he responded and said he was doxxed, harassed, and stalked, and that they should stand up against the, what he calls, poppy stands, for calling him out for a tweet that was on his Twitter. There are some other things I want to mention that don't fit into the categories already mentioned. For example, in 2019 he said that he doesn't release private messages between himself and creators, and that it's low, yet he proceeded to do so less than a month later. There is at least one other case of him leaking messages without permission too. There is also a clip in one of his most viewed videos where he talks about PewDiePie and says this.
I will say that the anti-Semitic stuff going on with PewDiePie is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Honestly, just between us, I would say that really nobody gives a shit. He should be able to say whatever the fuck he wants, and that be done with it.
At the time, PewDiePie was copying flack for his Fiverr video. That is the full context. In 2017, when he was making videos about Poppy and Marsii, he started making videos about Danielle Bregoli, who at the time was around the age of 14, and for context he was 27 or 28. It wasn't to the extent of the Poppy or Marsii videos as far as the amount made is concerned, but he took most of them down, likely because he doesn't want to be associated with it anymore. It was even in his famous birthdays bio for a while, but it's since been removed, but it still features insights that copy and paste famous birthday information to their website, along with the mention of Poppy videos. There's also a chance he didn't want people to find them, and when you look at some of them, you understand why. It's bizarre. What still exists on his channel are these 5 videos, which isn't anything too out of the ordinary. There's a video about who she's dating, there's a video about her roasting Poppy, there's a video to do with the Met Gala, her video game, and also what her real age is, which was a popular video that he made about Poppy as well. I mean, why break the format if it works? But when you look at what was taken down, it makes sense as to why they were, well, taken down. A save on the Wayback Machine from 2017 shows a video about her dating someone and being a part of the Illuminati, which is now private. There's a few other private videos, and among them is a video about her being pregnant. 2 in fact, one about her pregnancy, and one updating about it. The post he made to Twitter announcing those 2 videos still exists, as you can see. But the most alarming video that was privated was a video about explicit images leaking, which he has gone to great lengths to hide, so much so that its existence was wiped from his Twitter, unlike the others. But screenshots still exist from external websites, including the thumbnail. He also privated a ton of old gaming videos sometime in 2019, but that seems unrelated. Honestly, if I had to guess, I'd say that Premick used one of his old gaming videos in a video, and he just took them down because he didn't want people to use them. This one's a bit shorter, and I fully addressed most of it previously. But basically, he made a tweet saying that he got word that a YouTuber he had made a video about called Danny, and possibly another YouTuber who recently had his channel terminated for abusing the copyright system, had made a fake lolcow thread about him, with the latter referring to me. This was never really followed up on, which is strange for someone who loves to cry wolf. I had nothing to do with it. He even asked me if I did, and said he would know if I was lying, and never said anything about it again, but he's never said it wasn't me. He did mention it in the Google Drive for his video defending himself when Premick's video was made. It's in a folder that is called Clear Vendetta Out of Order. He offers supposed context, which says, "These were from the thread that lolcow kept removing. I feel like this is an important piece of information that should have been added in Premick's video instead of just using misinformation as fact. I have provided receipts. Rep. There's a second piece of context too. There were 2 servers that kept inviting me in to Discord. I wanted to be there for my fans and talk with them. However, there were people in there that said awful things and I kept asking for a mod to point out the situation. I eventually just left the service altogether because it was clear that they wanted to cause me harm. That is where these screenshots came from. I find it very weird that the second folder is what locale outed by IP to be 2 individuals with a clear vendetta. I currently know who it is, but I cannot disclose this information in case I need to take legal action. He then shows evidence of a supposed vendetta, which takes place across a petition with the file name fake. The petition definitely exists, but is it valid? That's up for debate. There's also another file labeled fake. If it means a screenshot, it's a real screenshot. If it means the contents and allegations of the screenshot, and it's calling them fake, well, that's a lie. And some of it happened to me personally, and has been proven to be true. Some of it may be provable to be false, that is unknown, but it certainly isn't fake. He then posts screenshots of the locale thread and what locale admin said about it. He also in the tweet stated it was fake. Once again, I know some of it at least to be true and have proven so. There's a video on my channel called An Open Letter to Repzilla, which goes through the locale thread. He then posts screenshots from the Discord conversation. If he has the IPs and knows who it is, then why doesn't he clear the names of the people it isn't? If he was to take legal action, it wouldn't hurt a case to disprove people who had nothing to do with it. How about instead of tweeting and saying it's someone's responsibility to own it if they use anything fake in a video, you take responsibility for tweeting something fake? Or does this go back to you saying, do as I say, not as I act? When it came to Primming's video, Repzilla was crying wolf because Primming was a larger creator, in his words. Repzilla was trying to paint Primming in a bad light by saying it wasn't fair because he had more subs than Rep at the time. The tweet no longer exists, but a response from it does, which sums up the tweet. Primming's Social Blade doesn't actually go back that far, but thankfully there's a save on the way back machine from a few hours after the video went live, although Rep's Social Blade indicates roughly a 50k difference between him and Primming. I don't agree that someone shouldn't be exposed based on their sub count. If Rep was crying wolf over being attacked by a larger creator, as he put it, then surely he wouldn't just go and do the exact opposite and be the larger creator and attack the smaller creators. You'd be wrong. He has done it multiple times. Most recently, he attacked a creator with under 1k subs. I won't give a detailed list, but for example, there's me for one, and that false narrative he ran against me. There's Ash as well. There's more. All you have to do is look. You may think, well, was it valid to make a video about these people? And you could be right. But he's still exposing and in some cases bullying smaller creators, which he was against when he was the quote-unquote smaller creator. Let's be real though, aside from the creators who he has exposed that should have been exposed, he was crying wolf to look like the victim. It's as simple as that. I feel like a section of this video should be dedicated to KL. There isn't too much to say, but they stood up for me and were accused falsely on multiple occasions of being an alt account of mine, or to go with the theory that I am out to get Repzilla. There's a lot of things that make it obvious it isn't me, but most tellingly is the fact that I've never been shy to call him out since my Speaking of Repzilla video, so it wouldn't make sense to make an alt account to contact him, especially after they were blocked. I could literally tweet him myself on any occasion. Sure, he may not see it or respond, but I could still do it. In fact, I have done it, and he has responded to me, despite me being blocked. Anyone who disagrees with him and or is Australian and holds him accountable doesn't mean it's automatically me. He literally lost thousands of subs when Primming's video came out. That tells me many people aren't his biggest fan.
Welcome back, and in today's Twitter video, there's this dude that I want you guys to be careful of. He has an account that's completely 100% dedicated to like following and just pretty much he's up to no good, and I just want you guys to be careful. There's a good chance that he might comment on this video, but be wary out there. There
I did kind of already state it previously in this section, but along with the accusations of KL being me, were many accusations towards me. This isn't everything that has happened, by the way, but it's a chunk. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day, if that's possible after watching this video. Peace.